Mm. Hey, hey, I am back on just for a quick second. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, Sharonda. Hey, Regina. How are you? Happy New Year. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time, Regina. Why is that? Hey, Glenda. Hey, Tracy Trees. Hey, Kersha. How are you? Happy New Year, everybody. I'm still going to say Happy New Year. I'm going to say Happy New Year for at least about 6 months into the new year. I don't know why, but I just feel it's going to be a real good year for us. So just make it a Happy New Year. But so thank you so much for joining me. For those that's on right now, hey Monica, how are you? Okay, so for those that's just scrolling through and probably saying, who is this great woman, this fabulous sister that's sitting here this evening? My name is Crystal Cunningham. I am a speaker, author, and a coach, and I coach and mentor some extraordinary women of faith who have a desire to destroy excuses, obstacles. They overcome obstacles. They ready to conquer goals. They ready to conquer their goals for 2020. They are owning their power, from their voice, their mission, gain crystal clarity, become confident leaders to execute their brilliance in the marketplace. Okay. But I'm on really quickly. As you see, the title says, "Are you struggling to share your story?" Um, you know, I totally can understand that right there. So let me just jump into this. Just bear me just for 1 second. I tell you, it's like when you come on, everything wants to go haywire. Nothing wants to work the way it's supposed to. But we push through any old way. And for some of you that are going to be watching the replay, I'm just going to ask that you just, hashtag replay. Just tell me where some of y'all are chiming in from. Are you coming in from where you from? I'm here and now my new home in Georgia, down here in ATL, originally from New York. Yes, yep. Woo, woo. Definitely. So let me know where you chiming in from this evening. Hello, Denasia. How are you? Long time no see. Oh my gosh. Tell your mommy I said hello. Tell Miss Gertrude I said happy New Year, prosperity, peace, and love and joy sent to her from all the way from down here in Georgia. That used to be my neighbor. Actually, she was that's a good. Let me just go there for a second. Her mommy was my neighbor. They were my neighbors when I lived in New York on Quarry Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. That's right, Mount Vernon, New York. Her mother, when I first got saved, saw me with a little pocket Bible and came and brought me my first King James Bible. One day I came home from work. She knocked on my door and she was like, "I got something for you," and handed me. Let me just. Oh, yeah, hold on. Handed me this book right here that, as you can see, I have used it. I have, I've definitely used it. I put it to use. Her mom was the one that gave me my first King James Bible, and I've been using it, and it has blessed me tremendously. So definitely tell your mommy I said thank you for sowing that seed, this great seed, Um, oh, I'll tag you on it. So I want to just talk to y'all really quickly because I was on just a little while ago and I was wondering what the Holy Spirit was trying to do. Because sometime, I don't know about you, but he'll test you to see if you want to come on and do what he tells you to do, and without like any scripts or anything like that. Sometimes when I come on, y'all, I have like outlines. I know exactly what I want to say. I know exactly how I'm going to be executing. But then there's moments where the Holy Spirit is prompting me and pulling me and wants me to come on and just sit here and just allow Him to talk and use my vocal cords. And that's what He does to His people. You know, if you are really being led by the Spirit. But so I was just on a little while ago, but now it's like, now let's get down to something that's really, really important. And I believe it's going to bless so many people, especially the women that I'm called to, the women that I'm called to serve. As like I said, you can see the title of this broadcast is talking about, are you struggling to share your story? I wanted to keep my story to myself, but unfortunately God said that that's not the case. You cannot do that. I tried to hide from it. I didn't want nobody to know my story. Why didn't you want anybody to know your story? Because my story, I felt very shameful of my story. I felt that people was going to judge me, what my story was about. I just had a lot of negative thinking. There was a lack of confidence there. You can write these things down. Maybe you can identify with them. I was nervous. I was anxious. Didn't really know what to say. Really didn't know how to really share my story with the world. And I tell just really kind of been looking at, God has been calling me to this space for 21 years. When I first started speaking, it was in a group where like-minded people like myself had been challenged with so many things, so they could identify. But if you wanted me to step outside of that space, I felt very uncomfortable with sharing my story, because I really concerned. The number one thing for me was, what were you going to think about me once I told you what my story, what my life consisted of, how I used to live, how I used to move and think throughout the day. I really was very concerned with other people's opinions, so I didn't want to share that. But I had to come to grips that God was not letting up off of me. He was not giving me a break. He said, this is your assignment. This is what I have called you, and really pretty much preserved you and got you where you are right now, so you can go back and you can actually share your story with other people and give my people hope and let them know, hey Ty, everybody that's on, if you don't mind just telling me where you chiming in from tonight. Give me your city and your state. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just let me know where you are chiming in from. Hey, Anisha, how are you? Great magazine. This woman has an awesome magazine, so make sure that y'all follow Anisha. She has a great magazine for entrepreneurs. So I was, like I said, I was really, really shameful to share my story, because there is a stigma that goes along with my story and the thing that I used to do and the activity that I used to participate in. So I didn't want anybody to know it. Once I felt like I got myself got cleaned up, got myself, shifted my life, moved in a different direction, I was like, hey, New Rochelle, Alabama, come on through Tampa, Florida. Let's go. Let me see what y'all all in from. Share the broadcast, invite somebody, put their name in. Yes. I believe that someone will be blessed by this. So after several years of me getting myself together and then relocating, I think it made it even worse for me, because now here it is. I'm in this new place. Nobody really knows me. Nobody knows me at all. So they don't know anything about me. So I just felt that it was best for me to just keep that under wraps. We don't have to share it. We don't never have to talk about it again. I have this new life. And the more and more I was trying to hide and run from it, the more and more God was coming for it. So I had to learn how to start becoming comfortable. Hey Andrea, Happy New Year. I had to start learning how to become comfortable with sharing my story and figuring out what it was that I really wanted to kind of divulge to everyone and put myself out here, because once again, it was either the judgment, the comparison. When I would hear people speaking, I would become nervous. Like, oh my God, I don't sound like them. Dag, they just seem to like blow it out the water. I mean, does anybody else feel like that on that's either watching right now, that may be watching a replay, that are wanting to be a speaker, you're wanting to share your story, you're looking at other people and you say, wow, I don't sound like them, I don't look like them. You know what I'm saying? They come on and they just killing it. They're confident with their story. They're okay with sharing their business. They're extracting all the lessons. All of these things, like how they just kind of do it with just such grace and ease. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not like them. I don't sound like them. I don't look like them. I don't dress like them. I don't talk like them. It was just all these thoughts that was going through my mind that really was preventing me from moving forward and really owning the space as a speaker. And even not just even a speaker, just even when it comes time to write and share what it was that I had been through, it was really, really challenging, y'all. So I totally get it when we have a lot of people, but one of my assignments is to help you break through those barriers that where the shame, the resentment, not really being confident. I help people, move past through the perfectionism, the fear, the embarrassment, wanting things to be perfect. All those things, learning how to present yourself, because you do have to show up and you want to have that confidence, and you want to be able to engage with the audience, and that those things it does take practice. It does take knowing who you are. It does take confidence, okay? But to this evening, and like I said, for 2020, I am looking for all of the women of faith, extraordinary women. See, everybody ain't extraordinary. I'm just going to say it. Everybody ain't extraordinary, baby. Everybody ain't extraordinary. Let me tell you about the extraordinary woman. The reason why I say that. The extraordinary woman is she's uncommon. She's uncommon, okay? Love you too, Cheryl. Thank you so much for being on. She's uncommon. She's different. She's set apart. She's not like everybody else. She understands that she's been sent out here into this earth with a divine assignment on her life. And she's okay with it, and she owns her space and owns her authenticity. She owns who she is, and she's okay with it. She owns that she has such a colorful background. When I say my colorful sisters, meaning that we've been some places, we've done some things, we just didn't have that straight and narrow path that we walk. That's not what we have. We've experienced some things like rape, abuse, homelessness, domestic violence, drug addiction. We've experienced some broken marriages, some broken relationships. We've experienced where maybe mothers and daughters not having the best relationship. We've experienced where our fathers abandoned us. We've experienced, some sibling rivalry. We've experienced some hardship in life. We've experienced some financial hardship. We've experienced some loss. We've experienced some things, some decisions that we made that might have put us in a bad situation. We've experienced some things, so we're not them polished girls. And I ain't got nothing against my polished sisters, but I'm definitely talking to my colorful sisters. My sisters that's, guess what, been around the block, been around the way. They known to be a round the way girl. You understand what I'm saying? So, we used to be called the round the way girls, okay? We Jenny from the block, okay? So I'm talking to them. I'm talking to my sisters that's been around the block. I'm talking to the sisters that's experienced some things. I'll let everybody else get the polished girls, but I want the extraordinary woman, and I want the colorful sister that thinks that, guess what, her life might be over, that she really can't rise up to the next level, but I'm here to tell you and show you that you can. I love my extraordinary sisters, and if ain't nobody told you they love you today, extraordinary sisters, extraordinary women of faith, I'm going to tell you tonight, your girl Crystal Cunningham is going to let you know tonight that I love you, You are bad to the bone. You are fearless. You can do exactly what God says that you can do. This is your season to soar high. This is your season to take on the world. This is your season to conquer the fears. This is your season to step over anything that is standing in your way. I say step on it and step over. Step on it first. Smash it down so it can never rise up again. Smash it, put it in its place. Let it know that, guess what, you have no power, no control over here. So I'm just going to tell you right now, smash and walk on judgment. Smash and walk on shame. Smash and walk on fear. Smash and walk on lack of confidence. Smash and walk on low self-esteem. Smash and walk on those insecurities tonight. Smash and work on that anxiety and that worriness. Smash those things down. I'm talking about take it down to the ground. Step on it, walk on it, and then walk over it into your success, because this is your season. So if you are struggling with sharing your story, let me just encourage you tonight. You don't have to. That story that you have is so powerful. It's so meaningful. It's so purposeful. Okay? It is powerful. It is purposeful. It is so meaningful. And it's filled with great possibilities. Let me tell you something. The three things that I know that the enemy is coming for right now is your purpose, your power, and the possibilities. Because, see, when you can see possibilities, you are a force to be reckoned with. You will rise up. You will be the resilient one to bounce back, because you don't just see the four walls. You see outside the walls. You see beyond your fears, your tears, and those struggles. You see that, guess what? I know I have a great future in front of me. Okay? So tonight, I wanted to come on, and I wanted to talk to you about you starting to share your story, either through speaking or through writing. I'm looking for you. I'm coming for you. God is calling me to help bring you into the marketplace. God is calling me to come and get you, to give you an opportunity to work with me. So guess what? You can share your story. No longer walk in fear. No longer walk in shame. No longer walk in doubt. No longer walk in that insecurity. No longer walk in your past decisions. No longer walk in the mindset of failure. No longer. This is your season. Let me tell you something. When it comes to sharing your story, these are some things that you have to have. You do have to have courage. You would want to be authentic. Be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else. I've given up on being like anyone else besides myself. I only want to be me. You should only want to be you. How you sound, very dysfunctional. I would be challenged with, is the broadcast going in and out by any chance? I'm telling you, it's only when I came on here, I could have been talking, just reckless talking, just talking about anything else, and it would have never did anything. But not until you get ready to come do a broadcast. Hold on for 1 second. I'm telling you. This how you know when you're doing what you need to do. I mean, I'm telling you, I could be sitting here talking and on the phone, and nothing would be going wrong with the network. Everything would be fine. But as soon as you come on to share and to empower, to strengthen, encourage, and equip and teach, the next thing you know, the broadcast want to go out. All kind of nonsense start happening. But you got to be able to move through that stuff too. So anyway, as I was saying, is that just some things that you would need if you want to start sharing your story. You got to be vulnerable. You got to be bold. You got to be courageous. And one thing I like about sharing my story is I'm my superhero in my story. You can become the superhero in your own story. I know Jesus. I can't do nothing without Jesus. Can't do nothing without with the Lord. I'm definitely never taking the glory away from the Lord. But however, the word does says in Philippians 4:13, it says, I can do. I can do. So some of it we can take ownership on some of that. You know, that I can do. I can come and share my story. You can come and share your story. You can share your story through speaking and through writing, through events. You can share your story and you can be proud of it. You can own that thing. I tell my clients all the time, own your story. There is power in owning your story. There is power when it's you releasing it opposed someone else releasing it. Once I realized that, I took ownership on my story. Once I realized that it's my story, it's not for anybody else. Hey Blossom, hey Valerie, everybody that's coming in, if you could just share like where you're coming in from, just put, you know, your city and state where you're coming in from. Tag, invite somebody to come and watch the broadcast. It was just acting up really just a moment. I'm getting ready to close and can bring it to an end though in a little bit. But I was talking about are you struggling with sharing your story? There's many of you that have a story inside of you that needs to be released. There's many of you right now that have a story on the inside of you that needs to be released. Somebody else is waiting for your story. They need to hear some of the things that you have been able to conquer. Some of the things that you've been able to come out of. Some of the things that you have been able to move past and the lessons that you learned and the woman that you have become. They need to see that. They need to hear that. Somebody else needs what you have. We're all carrying something that's going to bless someone else. But I do understand that the enemy tries to keep you in a space of being bound because you're worrying about what other people are going to think. You're bound by, you know, the comparison, the lack of confidence, the nervousness, you know, the guilt, you know, the shame, the putting other people out there that maybe have to, you know, a part to play in your story. We don't do no name droppings or anything like that. But however, you can say, you know, my marriage didn't work. You know, I did go through a divorce. You know, I did have a situation with X, Y, and Z. You know, I did go down there. You might not have to do all of that. But one thing I know for sure is that it's time for you to free yourself. It is time for you to free yourself from that place of captivity, from that place that's holding you back. This is your season. Every day you wake up is your season. I don't care if it's the next decade. You know, people's like, oh, this just... No, every day is your season. I don't care whether it's winter, spring, summer, fall. Don't even matter. Whatever it is, every day is your season. Every day that we get life and get breath, we wake up with, you know, breath in our body and we get to move and, you know, have our being and be in our right mind, it's your season. Okay? So this evening I wanted to come on and give you those nuggets. I wanted to come give you these things that I understand, some of these things that are trying to stop you from sharing your story. But don't let it stop you. Don't let the comparison. Do not let the judgment of others. Do not let the negative thinking. Do not let the lack of confidence. Do not let the resentment. Do not let the perfectionism make you stay in a place of being stagnant and stuck. When you know you are being called to a higher place, that you are being called to share your story, share the things that you've been through, that you've made it out of, that tried to take you out. Don't allow those things to hinder you from moving forward. Because believe it or not, this is your season. God is for you. He is not against you. And he said that you can do all things with him. All things through Christ who strengthens you. And I love it. The Amplified says, infuses you, empowers you, You become empowered. You become strengthened. Every time you open up your mouth and you share your story, you release it, you become strengthened. You become stronger. So if you'd like to connect with me, you definitely can. My email address is crystal@crystalcunningham.com, or you can join my free group, which is Extraordinary Women's Leader Society. You can join my group, and we could connect, and we could work together, and I can help you, share your story, whether it's through speaking or whether it's through writing. I love to coach, and I do have a lot of women that I am mentoring right now. I am getting ready to put it to, there is a mentor program that is being dropped and released. I do have a course as well if you need to learn how to shift and navigate in this season, because God is shifting his people. God is coming for what he put inside of you. So I do have a course, and in that course, one of the things that, either you're shifting in your career, or either you're shifting as an aspiring or emerging entrepreneur. God is probably maybe telling you it's time for you to come out of that job. Maybe you're not very clear about it. I hope you get clear about the voice of the Lord, and he will tell you what direction that you are going in. However, in the meanwhile, because there is a preparation period, but one of the things that I go over in my course, have you secured your money bag? Do you know how to secure your money bag? Do you have a 6 to 12 month plan when it comes time to leave off your job? I was able to leave my job after almost 20 years, March 22nd, 2019. God prepared me for it. I want to help show you that if it's your season, that if you believe that God is calling you to come out of there, how to prepare and how to be prepared properly so you can succeed, so you can be successful, so you will not revert back. You will not retreat. You will not go back. That you will continue to move forward. I can tell you some things that, guess what, even some things, some pitfalls to look for, because there were some things that I didn't see, so I can help you navigate through those waters and help you so you can be successful. Because I'm telling you, God is coming for what he put in you. That thing, he's coming after it, and no matter what, you're going to surrender. But it's best for you to be prepared. It's best for you to get things in order. Let's work together. This is what I've been sent here to do. I've been preserved for such a time as this. I have been preserved for such a time as this. I've been preserved. Now, people can say that, God has called me for such a time as this. Well, I know for sure. You want to know how I know? I used to be strung out on drugs, okay? I did not make it through all of that time and come out what I went through, just by happenstance. God preserved me and has brought me to this place now where now it's time for me to share my story, share how I've been able to do it step by step, be successful, have this. Why? Because it's this moment. He needed me for this moment. My voice is needed for this moment. You could not have made it out of my situation just by happenstance. I've made it out strategically. There's been specific steps that I've had to take in order to make it out. But one thing I know is he has preserved me for such a time as this. Okay? So once again, if you want to connect with me, you can go to my group, Extraordinary Women's Leader Society, or you can just email me at crystalcunningham.com. Another thing that we could, you can just inbox me. There's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different ways. There's a lot of things that's coming up. I'm going to be teaching the shift in February the 18th through 19th and 20th. I'm going to be speaking next month in New York, in the Bronx, for all of you, some people that my friends. that would like to come out and connect with me. If you are in the New York area, I'm going to be speaking in New York in the Bronx on February 15th, Saturday morning. I'm going to actually put the information, the event information up on my page, so you can come connect with me, because I know I have a lot of people here in New York that would love to connect with me. So I am going to be speaking next month in the New York area in the Bronx. So let's connect if you're in New York. And then I'll be back here in Atlanta, and I'll be speaking back here in Georgia, okay? So let's connect. Hey, Harriet, how are you? So once again, this is your time. I understand about the struggle of speaking, but guess what? It's time for you to share your story. This is your season, your moment. Seize it. Take it back. Take it back. This is your time. Once again, my name is Crystal Cunningham. Thank you so much for listening. If you watch the replay, just let me know where you are chiming in from when you watch the replay. Everybody else, y'all have a great night, and I will talk to y'all later. Good night. Bye.